Okay, folks, today we are doing lesson 2 where we learn 2 new methods for long division. The first one is the place value sections method here. That's what we're going to be starting with over on the left. And the other one is the expanded notation method. That's what we'll be doing on the right. Now you can see that I've written both problems. They're the same problem. We're going to do it both at the same time. So what we're doing first is dividing. All right. So I always tell kids to start with the biggest number you can. So if I have 7 things, can I make groups of 6? In this problem, 6 is my divisor, so I'm always looking to make groups of 6. In fact, if I do have 7 things, yes, I can make groups of 6. Now, with the place value sections method, this is kind of like the area model method that we did before. Place value sections method we did with multiplication. We're going to make this box a little bigger. So now we're just looking at the hundreds. Okay, so if I have 7 hundreds, how many groups of 6? Well, 7 divided by 6 is 1. But it's not really 7, it's 700, which means this isn't really 1, it's 100. Okay, now after I divide, I'm going to multiply that number I just wrote, 100 times 6. 100 times 6 is 600. I write that under there. What I want to do is figure out what's remaining, what's left over. So that takes care of 600 of these, but I still have 138 to go. My next step here would be to move these over onto the next box. So 138, that's how many more I still have to put into groups of 6. Now for expanded notation method, I've got to do the same thing. So if I've got 7 hundreds, I'm putting them into groups of 6, right? So that's still 1. 7 divided by 6 is 1, but again, it's not 7, it's 700, which means it's not really 1, it's 100. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply 6 times 100. That is 600. Okay, I'm going to subtract to see what I have left over, and I still have 138. So the only difference so far is that I have moved the 138 up to the top of the next box here, but I'm not going to move this one down here. It's going to stay right where it is. Okay, all right, so now back to place value sections method on the left. My job is to find out how many groups of 6 are there in 138. So again, I'm going to start on the left here. If I have 1 thing, can I make groups of 6? No. What about 13 things? Yes. Now I'm going to count by 6s until I get there. So 6, 12, 18. That's too much. So 12. So I can make 2 groups of 6. Now, important to notice here, I'm putting it right on top of the 3, not on top of the 1, because if I have 1 thing, I can't make 2 groups of 6. 13 things, yes, I can make 2 groups of 6. But it's not really 13, it's 13 tens, which means it's not really 2, it's 20. After I divide, now I'm going to multiply. 6 times 20 is 120. It's time for me to find out how much I've got left over. 18. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here on the right. So I've got 138. 1 thing, I can't make groups of 6. 13, yes, I can. 13 divided by 6 would be 2, but it's really 20 because it's 13 tens. So now 6 times 20 is 120. Okay, I'm going to subtract. What have I got left over? 18. Okay. Now over here for place value sections method, I take that one, I scoot it up to the top of the next box. Now I'm looking at the ones, so 18 divided by 6 would be 3. Okay, so I'm going to put my 3 right up here. Now I'm going to multiply. 3 times 6 is 18. I get to put it down here. Subtract, I've got no remainder, nothing left over. So my answer, my place value sections method is 123. Over here in expanded notation method, you see instead of writing them horizontally, I'm stacking them up vertically. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing though. 18 divided by 6 is 3. I put that right on top here. And now I'm going to multiply 3 times the 6, 18. When I subtract, I've got nothing remaining. So no remainder for this one. So here is my 123, and here it is written in place value sections method. Both of these will get you the same answer. One of them is stacked up vertically, and the other one is just spread out horizontally. But it gets us ready to move into the next step on lesson 4 when we talk about the shortcut method, the digit-by-digit method, which is really similar to this expanded notation method, only without the zeros. Okay, I hope it helps.